Hey, greetings everyone from our home to yours. I hope that this finds you safe and well. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of us finding Jesus throughout the Bible. And today our journey takes us to the book of Proverbs. Proverbs is not really a book per se, how we would think about it. It's actually more of an anthology or a collection. It's a collection of thoughts and ideas and wisdom, a collection of literature, you could say, attributed to King Solomon and to his students. The actual technical name of the type of literature that makes up the book of Proverbs is biblical wisdom literature. And within its pages are questions about values, morals, right conduct, the meaning of life, and what it means to live in a right way. Proverbs starts with an invitation to acquire wisdom, to gain wisdom. And then it goes into a section on the contrast between the foolish and the wise. Then there's a section on morality, and then another section on justice, talking about the wicked, the rich, and the poor, and the ideas around that. King Solomon was a very wise man, and his wisdom is famous throughout the world. His wisdom is biblically famous. We know that as Christians, how wise he was. But that does not mean that Solomon was smart. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, right? If Solomon wasn't smart, how is he wise? Well, wisdom is defined as the ability to apply knowledge, experience, insight, and good judgment to make sound decisions and understand the deeper meaning of life. So it's really not about being smart and knowing facts and be able to do math, etc. It's about using good judgment, using discernment, and being able to balance reason and compassion. There are a lot of people who are very smart, but they do not have reason and compassion. There's a lot of people who aren't very book smart, meaning they don't have degrees or they're not learned, that are very wise. So wisdom and being smart or intelligence do not mean the same thing in any way, shape, or form. And the good news is that Solomon himself tells us that the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. Now, that word fear, the way that it's been translated, is kind of a misnomer. It misleads us a little bit because when we think of fear, we think of being afraid and being scared. Well, fear is, in this context, is actually healthy. The word fear means more like awe, wonder, respect, and submission to God. And this surrender, awe, and respect is the foundation of a proper understanding of who God really is. It's also the proper understanding and the foundation of right and moral living. Another way to put it is that fear of God is a reverent relationship with God. Meaning it's not like he's your buddy, like, hey man, let's go do this. It's a reverent relationship with God. So what about our breadcrumb and finding Jesus in Proverbs? Well, Jesus is throughout Proverbs, and theologians have stated that in the book of Proverbs, wisdom is personified. So if wisdom is personified and wisdom is about a relationship with God, then it makes sense that our breadcrumb here is that Jesus is wisdom. I mean, it does make a lot of sense that Jesus is wisdom and that's our breadcrumb. And it's because Jesus is foundational and he's the one who leads us into a relationship with God. He's the one that allows us to be in that relationship. So if wisdom is the fear of God, then knowing God and Jesus and being in a relationship with Jesus makes Jesus wisdom. Following Jesus gives us the ability to apply knowledge, experience, and insight and judgment in a very profound and very biblical way, or in a Jesus way, a godly way. And interesting enough, there's another part of Proverbs in chapter 3, verse 19, that says, "The Lord by wisdom has founded the earth." Now think about that. So we just said that wisdom is Jesus personified. Jesus is wisdom because Jesus is how we have a relationship with God. So following Jesus is following wisdom, and following wisdom is a reverent relationship with God. So that's there. But because of Proverbs 3:19 that says that the Lord by wisdom has founded the earth, well, we know that Jesus is the key to all creation. We know that if the Lord by wisdom founded the earth, and that Jesus was present at creation, that Jesus is wisdom. I mean, it makes sense, right? Jesus was always there. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, from John. And then in the beginning, in Genesis, God looked out and said, let us create. And that us is Jesus is there. So Jesus is foundational. So you get what I mean, is that Jesus is wisdom, and wisdom is foundational to creation. Wisdom is foundational to relationship with God. And so if you want to be wise, have good judgment, discernment, and make good decisions, which will help you live a much happier and fulfilling life, because we've all made bad decisions and we know what has happened. We all wish that we had made a wiser decision on lots of different things. So if you want to be wise, have good judgment, discernment, and make good decisions, then follow wisdom, meaning follow Jesus. Grace and peace to you. God bless you. Have a great week.